Hello everybody, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be in CSGO. It's a game I like to play and I've been playing a decent of recently as well. And today I just wanted to show you guys that I know skins are a pretty fairly big part of the game. Everyone likes to have cool skins, either they get from cases they buy or they get dropped to them for doing well in a game. But a lot of people either don't want to spend a bunch of money on skins or can't spend a bunch of money on skins. They can't spend thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars or even like $150 on skins for all their guns, the guns that they use. But I'm here just to show you that you really don't have to break the bank at all to get cool skins and shit. It's pretty straightforward. I'm going to show you the two main ways, other than the first way to get skins is obviously the most straightforward, is just playing the game. And if you do well, a lot of times they'll drop you stuff in games like cases or stickers, or in some cases skins. Yes, these skins are almost never really that appealing or good looking, but at the same time they're free and you kind of just get them by playing. And the next two ways we'll show you here in a second, which are probably the more main ways of acquiring skins for guns. But yeah, I just wanted to show people that you can spend very little amounts of money, like less than $1, and get multiple very cool looking and I guess more rare than common skins. You can get skins, as you'll see here in my collection in a second. Just over the past couple of days, I've spent maybe around or less than like $15 or $20 on skins, literally just to for basically most of the guns in the game. And I probably could have spent less and gotten some cool skins, or the same skins but a little less quality. So I just wanted to show you that you can really spend very little amounts of money, something like under $20 to under 20, under 15, under 10, or even $5 to get a lot of quality skins for most of the guns in the game. Or if you just want to get it for the main guns in the game, you can easily spend, well, you can't spend less than $20 and stuff. You can easily spend like less than $5 to get these skins for some main guns in the game. I just wanted to show you some ways that you can acquire skins and get skins, and how that factors into the whole buying process. So as you can see, there are a few guns like the AK, the Op, Scar, G3, SG1, the Nova that I don't have skins for, as well as the MP9. But the main reason is I don't use autos that much, or the MP9, or the Nova. I occasionally use them, and maybe I'll get a skin soon for them. But I also I'm not a huge fan of the skins that they offer. So I also just didn't really feel the need to spend a lot of money to get a skin for them and everything. But for Op and the AK, I'm not an Op guy, so I'd hardly ever touch it. But obviously it's a popular gun, and you can get skins for it, and everything. And so is the AK. I just don't like their low-end skins, and for this video, that's why I didn't really buy any of them for it. Because to get a cool-looking skin for an AK or an Op, for what I think is cool, I'm spending a lot more money than this video limits me to, and I would even want to spend, as I don't really spend that much money on cases or skins. So yeah, so let's go up, and these are some of the skins you get dropped to in games, stuff like this. Obviously not the best looking, but it's free, so I mean, it is what it is. Obviously I'm not using these skins anymore. You can sell them on the community market, but these only fetch a price of about like 6 cents a piece, especially in the condition they are. So you can, just keep them or sell them. I'll probably end up selling them at some point, just because 6 cents is better than, nothing, just sitting there. Using an example, battle scarred, but, it is what it is. So let's actually get to my skin collection here, and obviously you got some cases here. Then let's go to the two main ways of acquiring a skin in CSGO, other than getting dropped to you. The first and most straightforward way, right here, is to just hit this market tab over here, and this brings you up to the community market. Here you can buy cases, you can buy stickers, you can buy gun skins, you can buy knives, anywhere ranging all the way up to something like this, where it's incredibly expensive, even over $1,000, all the way to skins that are, I don't know if they'll show any skins here other than probably just stickers. But let's just go to like the AUG, for example, all the way down to skins that, another example here, if it actually loads. For some reason, it's not. Can all the way go down to a couple dollars to even a couple cents to get a skin for a gun. And you can browse, go to different pages. There's lots of pages, lots of quantities of different guns here and gun skins. And yeah, very cool little thing there. And that's, you can just directly buy skins, which in my case, I think is by far the best way to acquire skins in the game. Another way is to buy these cases you see here. Obviously, they range from anywhere from the cheaper cases, which aren't even shown here, around the 10 cents and 20 cents mark, stuff like this, all the way up to the more expensive cases like the glove case, and a case like the Operation Riptide case, which is new, the Dream and Nightmares case, $1 or $2, which is the most expensive you're going to be spending on a case, so that's why. It's usually just because they have better chances or more especially rare items is why. But not only do you buy the case, you also have to buy the key, which I believe is around $2.50 per. Obviously, if you buy in bulk, maybe you get a better deal and some money taken off, but generally that's what a single key price is. And then you use that key to unlock this. Again, you can also acquire cases by just playing the game. Sometimes they'll drop you cases, so sometimes you won't have to spend any money on cases at all. But you will have to buy the key, which is about $2.50, so just be aware. I think opening a case is probably the worst way to get skins. You're not guaranteed a skin you want or need in any regard. You have a very low chance of getting anything that valuable that'll make up the cost of the key or the case. And yeah, I will show you a case opening just to kind of give you a example here of like what that looks like and everything. But again, probably not the most efficient way to buy cases or buy skins and get skins in this game. So as you can see, I've got a pretty wide range of, skins here that I've acquired for most of the guns in the game. And I have acquired all of these for like less than $20 as a whole-ish. Don't quote me on the exact price point of every skin put together, but it's around or probably less than $20 as a whole. And it just goes to show that you can get some, and these aren't common skins either. Like, obviously a lot of them are blue, which is just the next step up, but some of them are purple, one of them is even like a classified, like pink rifle. So yeah, I spent around $20, I can't remember the full price point, on all these skins, just to acquire these for a lot of different guns, and they're all fairly cool. For some of them, their skins, well, I think they're still cool and very good for the price point. There's a few skins in that price range that you could definitely choose from that I thought looked cool. So these aren't the only cool looking skins for all these guns at this price point. Some of them have multiple very good looking skins for the relative cheap, under $1, under a few dollar price points. But I just picked what I thought looked cool, and there were other cool looking ones that I could definitely see you buying and having, interest in. I had interest in a lot of them. Well, let's just get started and go through them. I'm going to give you recommendations on skins for a lot of these guns, obviously, and kind of just go through and show you. First one, we got MP7 Gorilla here. I think it's pretty minimal wear, well-worn skin. It's Operation Riptide for an MP7. It's got this cool little, like, star here. It's the green and red. Kind of looks military-ish, and, like, I want to say camo, but, like, kind of what you'd imagine, like, a military gun to be. It's a pretty solid build, or not build, just skin. Kind of looks cool. I actually didn't get this I actually didn't buy this. I got this out of an Operation Riptide case that I opened before the video just to see how to make sure everything would work for the case opening. And it actually worked out because the MP7 skin I did have, while it is fact new, like Army Recon or whatever, this definitely does look cooler. And it's one of the guns I didn't really buy a skin for on my own. So definitely a cool looking thing. And if you go to the community market, you go to sell in the community market. It's not that expensive of a skin. It sells for about 6 cents, so 6 or 7 cents. So definitely something you can afford just to buy. And again, this is a pretty good quality. It's well worn. It's not that bad. Next one, we got Black Lotus, another Operation Riptide one. The USP-S. Obviously, I don't know if that's just doesn't have much on the suppressor. I don't know if that's maybe the dots, or I don't know if that's always on there. But obviously, it's got this purple tint on the handle, which is cool. And obviously, the main thing on the slide here, you've got this little purple design of I don't know flowers or Black Lotus maybe. It looks pretty cool, and it's a little nice design for one of the main guns too. This is a gun that basically every counter-terrorist operator always has and uses for like every game. So guns like that where you use them every game, definitely priority to get skins on, obviously, because you're going to be using and interacting with them the most. And the price of this skin, about 43 cents. Not that bad, especially for a USP-S skin where it's just a priority gun to get a skin on. Next we got a fact new Desert Strike Negev skin. Obviously most of the gun is just kind of factory black with the kind of yellowy sand dune kind of colors on the grips and the end of the barrel or the muzzle flash and the stock of the sand dune colors for the Desert Strike added thing there. I believe this is a fact new skin, so obviously it's a little shinier and stuff than maybe you'd get on other qualities, but it's a pretty cheap skin from what I remember. And it kind of gives the Negev, other than just looking like a cool realistic gun, it kind of just gives it like a actual realistic feel of an LMG and kind of like a US, like, something you could actually see a soldier using. So yeah, definitely the Negev skins I wasn't a huge fan of, but this one I thought was kind of cool and simple. As far as the community market for a fact new one, you're talking about 20 cents. The most, I don't know who bought it for 73, but 23, 24 cents. Very cheap skin for even a fact new gun. These are the cases. We'll get back to these later. Next is the FAMAS, which we actually have a restricted rifle, a purple, well-worn quality rifle here from Operation Riptide, which Operation Riptide I think is a pretty good quality for skins. I've liked most of the skins I've gotten for them. As you can see on the FAMAS here, we've got this pretty cool kind of like futuristic-y looking FAMAS paint job. You've obviously got the main body of this gun kind of in this like sleek black and red, which I think is a really cool color mixture. Looks very clean. And then obviously you got the splashes of color here with the stripes, a little pin down here, which adds a little like flare, I guess, to it. It makes it look a little more cool. You've got these glowing red dots up here. Kind of makes it look featurey, I guess. Very clean, cool looking skin for FAMAS. Again, not a main staple gun like a M4, an AK, or an OP, or an SG or something. But it's one of those eco guns that a lot of counter-terrorists use when you don't want to spend as much money for an M4 and M4 A1S. So very solid gun, good quality, fairly well used gun, solid gun, and it's very nice skin for the price, and it's fairly rare skin, I guess. But just going to the community market is not that much. It is 51 cents, which is probably one of the higher end skins as far as cost wise go on the list. 51 cents for that, and that is well worn quality. Next we got the Mac 10, which we got the StatTrak button mash here from the Snakebite collection. A lot of these guns are StatTrak too, which is actually kind of cool for how little you're getting them. That you get StatTrak with it. Obviously the Mac 10, basically what this design is, it's kind of like a technology design with the little pink and the wires and the connections over there. It's obviously got the little design of like being a button masher. Obviously it's got sound, on-off button, a reset, S/P. It's got the little directional pad button here, and the little cartridge that's supposed to be the magazine. And yes, I'm pretty sure that is supposed to be broken, because on all the qualities of the guns I looked at, that was broken. This isn't factory new though, but it looks just as good as basically every other quality of gun, if not better, for the button masher. So very solid skin there. You also have the StatTrak on it, which is always a little nice added bonus. Overall, very cool little neat design for your Mac 10 here. Definitely recommend picking this up for a Mac 10 skin. Very cheap, cool little design. It's got a StatTrak. So yeah, definitely a solid little gun there. As far as community market and price value for the StatTrak here, we're going 58 cents. So one of them will, again, half a dollar for this skin. And obviously, if you probably get a worse quality than the one, or don't get StatTrak on it, you can probably get it for less than that. But I spent the extra few cents to get that. Next, we got the 5.7 here, which is a fact news skin of the capillary, maybe, from the Spectrum collection. As you can see, it's fact news, so it doesn't really have any defects on it or anything, which is nice. 5.7's, I don't have StatTrak on it. It might have a StatTrak version, but it might be more expensive, and I don't use the 5.7 enough to justify that. But yeah, it's got this blue, it's got this kind of like blackish, fibery, matte, I don't know how to explain it, like underlay, with this red and blue little, electricity or like branch growing up there, which I think is a little cool design and adds a lot of color to the gun. It's got the red little under this barrel thing, under barrel attachment slide or whatever. Very good, shiny new gun here, fact new. Very solid gun. It is fact new, as you can see, mil spec, great pistol. As far as community market, what I bought a fact new version of this for, I bought it for 25 cents in this range, 23 to 25 cents for a fact new version. If you don't want a fact new version, I'm sure you can get a few cents off. So, very good gun for the price. Next, we got here the SG553. We have the Darkwing skin from the Prisma 2 collection. Very cool skin. Obviously, this isn't factory new. You can see a little wear at the end of the magazine here, as well as at the end of the barrel here has a little wear. But the main thing, as well as I think there's a smudge maybe somewhere on the handle grip, if I was not mistaken. Doesn't look like it. And on the trigger guard a little bit. Overall, pretty well maintained. Obviously, if you want to spend a little extra money, you can obviously get a factory new or minimal wear version. And I'm sure there's a StatTrak version if you want to spend more money, but I didn't get the StatTrak or the factory new version. But yeah, very cool little skin here. Very intricate and detailed and cool design. Obviously, up here it's just kind of like a black and purpley, like little winged design or whatever. But obviously on the body of gun is where you're getting the main design. This kind of red and black feathery design and mixture you get here, all going all the way back to the stock. Very cool looking design for this weapon. And yeah, one of the cooler guns in my collection, I think. So yeah, very solid. It's well worn, so that's the quality we're looking at here. As far as community market goes, the value of this gun is about 36 cents. It's not even ever got into a $50, I believe. So very cheap skin, very good skin, and yeah, solid skin for the SG there. P90 here, you got the Grim from the Gamer 2 collection. Obviously, pretty simple design, no StatTrak, even though there was a fairly more expensive version to get StatTrak. But really, the only part where you see any wear on this not factory new version is on the top little slide mounted scope here. But every other part in the main design and color scheme is very good quality. Obviously, it's got very cool, well, base colors. It's got black with a little green, like grim, like skull person painted on it, with little skulls coming out of it and green designs and waves and mystic power. And it's got the skull on the front, green design on the back. Very cool, intricate little design for your P90. It's field tested, and it's not that expensive. You come over here, field tested version of this, only 9 cents or 10 cents or whatever. And obviously you can get a better quality or put StatTrak on it or stuff if you want to go up to like the 20ish cents range. Next to the Mag 7, which actually I don't know if that's that popular, but it is what it is. Very cool design here. One of my more favorite designs of my collection so far. The Mag 7, the Monster Call from the Fracture collection. As you can see, very good quality gun. I believe this is field tested, but I mean, as far as basically anyone else can see, this is minimal wear, fact new for just about everything else. Very good design, lots of colors, the basically entirety of the gun. Very cool and intricate design and color scheme. You've also got the light blue and dark blue water schemes covering the gun, with these obviously very intricate designs of this green shark with some fish around him chasing this kind of like mutant squid creature, and at the end you also have this like sharp toothed squid on the barrel here. Very cool, and you got some fish floating around and everything. Very cool, intricate design for the Mag 7. That didn't, from what I remember, didn't cost me that much. Cost about 42 cents for one of the cooler skins in my entire collection. Next we got the dualies here. This is the StatTrak Dual Berettas Shred from the Horizon collection. Very cool design, very little clean. Basically, I want to say like tiger stripes or just stripes. Paint design. You've obviously got the like blue, the black, and like the gray, which make a pretty cool little design for your things here. Obviously, you've also got the StatTrak on it, which obviously always good to know how many kills you have with this. It's got on the community market the StatTrak version of this. It's got a value of about 79 cents or 88 cents. And this is also a minimal wear version. So obviously if you get rid of, so it's one of the more expensive weapons I bought for probably one of the less cool ones in the collection. Obviously if you get rid of the StatTrak and you go down on quality a little bit, obviously the price, could even get cut in half or something. Next we got the PP Bisons, everyone's favorite airsoft gun. Very cool little like runic kind of, I don't even know how to explain it, gun. The StatTrak PP Bison runic from the Fracture collection. Obviously got the StatTrak on it, which is always nice to see how many people even embarrassed with the PP Bison. And then you've got this little wooden handle with the black metal main body of the gun. The barrel obviously has these like kind of metal bullets on it, which kind of looks like a minigun almost, which is nice. And obviously on the upper barrel heat guard here, you've got this like glowing red paint, which is always cool to have. And then on the barrel, on the stock here, you've got these engraved runes on the stock, which is really cool. And then probably one of the main features of the gun is on the body of the gun, you've got these engraved runes that are like glowing red for it. So very cool little looking gun here for the PP Bison. Where is it? Yeah, it's a blue quality. It's well worn quality. On the community market, you can pick this up right now for about 14 cents for StatTrak, well worn. So you can probably get it for less, honestly, if you get rid of those. But yeah, very cool skin. Next is the UMP-45. I've got the StatTrak UMP-45 briefing from the Gamma 2 collection. Very simple skin. Obviously not a lot of popping, bright colors. Probably could have gone better for this skin. There's a couple other skins I was considering for this for a decent price range. But obviously you've got your StatTrak on here. And then you've kind of got this like cool looking technology-ish, like weird looking design skin. You've got the gray and the blue. And these little like emblems carved into it with the StatTrak. So overall, pretty simple, clean looking skin to pick up for a UMP-45. It's minimal wear, so it's a pretty good quality gun. And on the community market, you can get the minimal wear StatTrak version of this gun for about 30 cents. So definitely a good pickup if you want a very cheap StatTrak version of skin for it. Next, we got the Galil, everyone's favorite mini eco AK, with the StatTrak Galil AR Vandal. So obviously you can see it's kind of like a post-apocalypse kind of scrounged up kind of gun design to it. It's got the StatTrak here on the barrel, or not the barrel, but the fucking back of the gun. It's got this kind of like apocalyptic, like scrounged together and designed gun feel to it. It's got the bullets painted onto the magazine. It's got these little flame emblems in the stock and at the heat guard of the barrel here. It's got the checkered design on the top end of the gun here. It's got the little X. It's got the little engravings of stuff like SOS or 505, the XX, bang bang bang. Don't take my gun. The little skull painted on here. It also gives that feel of post-apocalypse, not only by design, but it's got the wooden handle. It's got a tad bit of rust thrown around it. Very cool little post-apocalypse design gun. It's got obviously StatTrak, which is always nice. A little addition to the gun there. Community market, you can pick this gun up for about 27 cents for a StatTrak well-worn version of the gun. Next, you got Tech 9, which is probably one of the lamer skins, but it's a Tech 9 and it's pretty simple. But I thought it was a pretty clean, simple looking design. Obviously the main part of the gun here in the top and the barrel. Obviously you have snake skin, red and yellow and black design here. It's got the StatTrak. It's obviously on the magazine, got the design of a little black, yellow and red snake slithering up towards the top of the gun. And it's got I said StatTrak already, but it's got the little carvings of the little numbers on each side of the gun. I think to simplify, kind of like you kill a lot of people with this gun or something, but obviously I have the StatTrak to make sure of that as well, just in case. It's well-worn quality StatTrak. You've got, from the Horizon Collection, Snack 9. For community market, the sell value of this is about 18 cents for what you can pick it up for right now. It's a very cheap, cool, simple looking design. Next we got the AUG. We got the StatTrak AUG Tomcat from the Prisma 2 collection. Obviously you got the StatTrak right on the side of the gun there. And it's kind of got this cool, clean looking color scheme and design. It's got this like light green, yellow, and gray design here, which is a good color match with the black. Kind of checkered, I don't want to say checkered, but like boxed off colored magazine. Cool little handle design grips. Obviously at the back of the gun you've got the Tomcat here with the thunderstorm and a fly painted onto it. That's where most of the gun artwork is, at the back here, which I think is pretty cool. You got the StatTrak. Overall pretty solid, clean looking gun. For the AUG here, it's StatTrak, it's field tested quality. On the community market you can pick up the StatTrak field tested quality version for about 15 cents right now. And again, for these guns, these aren't the only cheap skins available for these guns, so if you think another one looks cooler, by all means go and pick it up. I'm just showing you that you can get very cool and cool niche little cool looking guns with StatTrak sometimes on them for very cheap. Next is everyone's favorite fucking handgun, which I actually use over the Desert Eagle because I am fucking awful with the Desert Eagle, like unbelievably bad. But I'm actually somehow decent with the fucking RA revolver when I use it for some reason. And they got a cool looking skin here. It's the StatTrak RA revolver grip from the Clutch collection. Also, you see it's got the StatTrak right above or right below the barrel here to the right. It's got, just on the main gun itself, it's got this very intricate looking metal carved design base of the gun and little rivet designs, which I like. And obviously the main part of the gun here is the handle design with the blue, black, and white little striped kind of layered color scheme there, which looks really cool. And obviously the StatTrak. So very cool looking skin for your gun. I know this isn't a popular gun, but it's what I use, so I just wanted to show it off here. And on the community market, you can get this version of it for about 12 cents. You can get a StatTrak, you know, well-worn quality gun for about 12 cents, which is one of the cheaper. Getting revolver skins is one of the cheaper endeavors. Next up, we got the XM1014 with a well-worn version of our little gun here. This is the StatTrak XM1014 Watchdog from Operation Riptide Collection. Obviously you got the StatTrak right above the handle right here, and on the rest of the gun, you've kind of got this like little ornate, little rustic, old-timey design to it here with a little, I guess like, I don't know what those fucking creatures are, but it's a little beast right there with the ornate little green carvings on the rest of the gun. It kind of seems like, while I bought it, it kind of seems like a gun that you'd find in like some old house that was a design piece way back, and then like an old design gun from like way back in the day. Kind of got that feel with the camo and skin color. And obviously it's got the StatTrak, so I think it's a pretty cool little gun for the XM, the auto shotty. Sorry about the notification there. And you can get the well-worn StatTrak version of this skin for this gun on Community Market for about 15 cents, so very cheap skin. Next is, I think, probably one of the cooler skins I have right here. The Sawad-off Apocalypto. Apocalypto. There we go. From the first Matu collection for the Sawad-off here. This is not the StatTrak version, although I think for a little more money you can get a StatTrak version. But very cool, clean looking design. Obviously it's not field new, but the only parts of wear you can really see, or maybe right here if that's supposed to be wear, the trigger guard at the bottom, and maybe at the front of the gun right here in the barrel. But who's gonna see that other than the guy's face you're fucking blowing off with this? So yeah, very cool looking design. Obviously on the barrel and the slide or the pump here, you've got the purple space background with some rockets and stuff going on it. Then right here on the main base of the gun, you've got the ticking time bomb, like little Earth there with some clouds and whatever that orange is supposed to be around it. Maybe the continents, I don't know. With the little blue turquoise or whatever hand with the watch reaching towards it. Very cool and detailed, colorful design for a sawed-off that I really like using. And that's the field-tested version of the gun. On the Community Market, this goes for about, as of now, 41 cents. So pretty cheap skin for how much color and detail and intricate design you're getting for it. Next is the Glock-18, the terrorist-sided starter weapon that you're always going to be using. I got the Glock-18 Weasel from the Gamma 2 collection. I thought this was kind of just like a cool, funny design here. Obviously doesn't have much for wear. The trigger guard is the only spot I can see any defects. And it's got this little, weasel going the length of the gun. And it's obviously in the background. It's also got like, I don't know what those, like leaves, like white leaves coming out of it. So it's a pretty cool, simple design here. I thought was pretty cool. So, yeah. I picked it up. Very cheap little skin there. I think so, hopefully. It's a purple quality skin. It's field tested. Obviously not StatTracked, but it is what it is. About 33 cents for one of the more focused guns on getting a skin for, because it's a Glock-18. Next, we're going to skip this one because I think this is the most expensive and rarest one I have. Next, we got the SSG here, the poor man's op, which I actually prefer sometimes to the op. We got the StatTrak SSG 08 Parallax from Operation Broken Fang collection. I think it's well-worn quality or field tested. I think that is supposed to be missing the paint over here, or at least most of the paint. I think that's part of the design. Obviously, it's got this like holographic, trippy designs of the red, white, and blue across the gun. It's got the 360 over here, the little boxes. It's got a bunch of X's around it, and obviously, what I think is, and it's also got like the stripes and designs on both sides of the gun. Obviously, what I think is the main seller is they also have StatTrak, which is nice, but the 2-shot 1-kill thing on here with the 1 crossed out, because, you know, obviously if you don't get a headshot, it's 2 shots. Very cool little design and little funny thing on there. This is one of the more expensive skins of the collection, so I definitely implore you, if you don't want to spend a few dollars on a skin, which this is by all means in every other regards a very cheap skin, but if you don't want to spend over $1 or a couple dollars on a skin, I'm sure there are cheaper skins you can pick up for this that look cool to you. But for the StatTrak SSG Parallax, and this is well-worn quality, on the community market, this skin goes for about $1.03. So obviously one of the more expensive, or $1.14 sometimes. This is obviously one of the more expensive skins on the list at over $1. So if you don't want to spend the money on that, I'm sure there are other cool skins, or you can probably give it to the StatTrak or something if you want the skin for cheaper. And let's go to the final skin I believe I will be showcasing, which is for the M4A4, probably my most rare and expensive skin I have. The M4A4 classified raffle, field tested, Desolate Space from the Gamma collection. Very colorful and intricate design on this gun. And although it's field tested, the only place you're really seeing any quality is maybe that little smudge on the handle, if that's supposed to be not be there, and at the very tip of the barrel here, or the magazine, and the barrel, which honestly are very minimal and you don't really see, so who cares. But overall, very cool design for this gun. It's got the dead astronaut, this like little blue kinetic energy or whatever the hell that's supposed to be, with obviously the pink and purple overlays, the pink space, you know, the rocket there, the tentacles reaching for it, and obviously on the features of the gun, like the stock and the barrel and everything, it's got the little bright purple to add to the theme. Very cool, colorful, intricate design for the M4A4, which is a very staple gun and very heavily popular and heavily used gun. And one of my most used guns. I use this gun basically every game of CSGO I play. So yeah, very cool there. It's not StatTrak or it's not factory new, but it's a very rare, cool skin here. And on the community market, as of now, this version of the M4A4 Desolate Space sells for about $4.54 as of February 6, 2 a.m. Yeah, so this is by far the most expensive skin on the list, but it's still very cheap in regards to basically everything else. You're basically getting it for $4.50, which is under a $5 limit, which is very, very cheap for how much of a colorful and intricate design of a skin this is. So you're very cheap. Obviously, if you don't want to spend that much money on it, I'm sure the M4A4 has some more cheaper designs on it that you can get, or maybe a worse quality gun, like a Battle Scarred, maybe, if you want to go that route. So yeah, that's my gun collection, and some recommendations for some cheap skins on a lot of guns in CSGO. I just wanted to show you that, first of all, collection, because I like it, but I just wanted to show you that you can get a lot of skins for a lot of guns that look very cool and, you know, above common rarity, that are very cheap, and you don't have to spend hundreds of thousands or even like $50 on skins to really flesh out your whole inventory here and get a lot of cool little skins for your guns here. So now the last thing in the video is showing you the last way, and what I think is the worst way and most expensive way and inefficient way of getting skins, is opening cases. So as you can see here, these cases you can buy or acquire from playing the game. Usually they're like half $1 or less, or $1 or $2 or less. And the cases here, as you can see, are here. You're going to need to buy it, and how you open these is not only you get the case, but you buy a key for it right here, which usually costs about $2.50, not $2.50, $2.50-ish for the key to then open the case. That's how you get the case. And once you got that, you hit unlock container, you select your key, and you unlock your container. Obviously, it shows you the container and what you can possibly get in it. Obviously, you want the guns like up here. that are pink or better, obviously, or hopefully they're a very special item. But even the shittier skins look fairly good, and you can probably get like 30 cents for. And yeah, this is another way to get skins that I don't like or use, but for the purpose of this video, I will definitely show off a case opening. So let's go ahead and unlock the container to show you, get in the case in this, and then it spins to see what, skin you possibly can get. And let's see what we pick up. The Guerrilla Operation Riptide collection for the MP7. Honestly, we already have this skin as we showed off earlier in the video, so I'm probably just going to be selling this. It is minimal wear, and this is well worn. Sells on the community market for about, let's see here, most recent sales are for about 29 cents. So obviously we didn't really make up the value of anything. We made up almost the value of the case, and that's why it's so bad, because you spend the 50 cents on the case and the $2, you spend like $3 opening the case and everything, and you get a skin that's worth $30 and sometimes not that rare or something you don't need or already have. So that's why opening cases, in my opinion, is probably not as good of a investment as a lot of other things. But if you want to do it just because you like fucking opening cases and spinning and see what you get, go ahead. So yeah, that wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the skin collection show off, as well as showing you some very cheap skins and how you can get skins for very cheap for guns, so that you don't break the bank and can get a lot of cool and rare skins for your guns that you don't have to pay an obnoxious and random amount for a fucking video game skin. So yeah, hope this little guide helped you out there, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.